This last week, I listened to the most recent episode of the podcast Answer Man podcast. It was episode number 310. And in that episode, Cliff and Erik talk about ways that podcasters can use YouTube. One thing they talked about is uploading whole podcast episodes to YouTube and just having a static image show in the video itself. This is something I've been thinking about doing for my podcast, and I've been wanting to do it for a while, but I just haven't gotten around to actually doing it. But hearing them talk about it on the podcast got me thinking about how else I could use YouTube for my podcast. And I realized that since my podcast is structured and broken up into separate and unrelated topics, I could just take each one of those topics and then turn each one into a separate video for YouTube. And then I'd have 5 or 6 or 7 videos per podcast instead of just one, and each video would be shorter and much more focused. So that's what I did for the last episode after it went live, and it resulted in 6 different videos, most of which are about 2 minutes long each. The audio for each video is taken directly from the final MP3 of the podcast, and then I created a simple static image for each video. The image in each video is the size of the video on YouTube, and it just says what the topic of the video is and that it's from the Digital Publishing Podcast. And it's been less than a week since I did this, and as of recording this, the videos haven't gotten too many views. 2 of them have 5 views, 1 has 3, a couple of them have 2, and 1 has 1. This is something that I'm going to do for a couple more episodes and see how it turns out, see if that number goes up, see if the number builds. The idea and the goal here is that people search for something specific on YouTube and see one of the videos and click on the link in the description to go to the Digital Publishing Podcast website. And if you want to see the videos I've done so far, you can go check them out at in the YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com/Osmosio. Osmosio is the site that the Digital Publishing Podcast is part of, and it's OSMOSIO. It's like osmosis, but with an O on the end instead of an S. And again, that's youtube.com/Osmosio.